What's going on, Burn Elite? This is your commish uh, coming at you from the S&P Dream Team. Um, Here to do the weekly recap. I tell you what, there weren't that many injuries this week, which is good in football. We had one or two, but nothing major. Um, Nobody major went out, so that was pretty fortunate for the most part. Um, we had some really close matchups this week, man. I'm serious. We had some really close matchups, and if you could tell, I'm a little bit excited right now because I'm gonna start off with the matchup between Todd and S&P Dream Team, which is me and Stefan's team. Um, this was a really close game. Both of us were 1-1 coming in, and Todd had a 141 to 96 point lead with Julio Jones still left to play, and I had Drew Brees and Michael Thomas left to play. I was a little disappointed myself for not playing Terrell Pryor because I did in a few other leagues, but nonetheless, Monday Night Football was a killer for Todd because Julio Jones only scored 2 points, Drew Brees scored 36 for me, and Michael Thomas put in 20. So I was able to come back and beat Todd 152 to 143, which was an amazing comeback. Like I said, I was down by 45 points coming into the game. So that victory improves my record to 2-1. And Todd, you dropped to 1-2. The next matchup also was a very close matchup that came down to Monday Night Football. It was Larry versus Steel City. Um, Larry came to the game down by 7. I mean, up by 7. And Steel City needed, of course, 7 to tie, 8 to win. All he had playing on Monday was Matt Bryant, you know, the dude with the mustache, the kicker from the Atlanta Falcons. And Matt Bryant came through with 15 points. So Steel City was able to pull this one off 138 to 130. It wasn't just Matt Bryant's performance. It was also a lack of performance by a couple guys on Larry's team. Ben Roethlisberger only had 8 points. Chris Ivory, 2. Julian Edelman, 8. Jason Witten, 4. So all in all, it was a pretty bad overall effort by the team. Larry, you dropped to 1-2. Jason in the Steel City, you improved to 2-1. Next matchup. This was another close game. Another close game between Nish and Jay Nice. Now, in this game, both of these players had the highest score individual for the week. Both of them had 44 points, which was Marvin Jones for Nish, who had an amazing 200-yard, 2-touchdown game. And Jay Nice had the Vikings defense, who had 44 points also, as they dominated the Carolina Panthers. The culprit in this game for Jay Nice was C.J. Anderson, for sure, only giving him 4 points. And Nick Novak, his kicker, gave him 0 because they played the mighty Patriots on Thursday. And, of course, the Texans didn't score a single point. So, Jay Nice, your perfect record drops to 2-1. And Nish, you improved to 2-1. Next matchup. This was the lowest combined score of the week. AC5 versus Miami G. In this one, George was able to pull it out. He won by a total of 8 points. Another close game. It was a lot of people that didn't show up for both teams. But the big standout in this one was Kelvin Benjamin, who wasn't injured, but scored 0 points facing that Minnesota defense for AC Fire. 0 points. TJ Yellen was 4, and Langford was 6 points. He got hurt in the game. Will Fuller only gave him 6 points also. So, like I said, this was the lowest scoring total of the week. Miami G, had you played anybody else, you would have lost. But fortunately for you, in this matchup, you won, improving to 2-1. And AC Fire, you dropped to 1-2. Next matchup, we got the Braxton Bullies versus Dirty Salazars. And this one, actually could have turned out completely different. Hey Nick, man, I think you're a cool dude, but you did some horrible coaching on this one. You you left Willie Snead in the game. Willie Snead, and it already said he might not play this week, but you played him anyways, and you opted to leave Allen Robinson on the bench. Allen Robinson scored 24 points, which would have given you 137. So you still would have lost, but hey, at least it would have been a closer game, you know. Either way, Braxton Bullies, you pulled this one out. Even though Forte only gave you 8 points and Stephon Ware only gave you 6, you pull this one out 138 to 113, and you keep your perfect season alive, improving to 3-0. And Dirty Salazar's, you start your season off 0-3. In the last matchup, this was the biggest blowout of the week. Not because Paradise Mike did so horribly, because he actually had the third highest score this week. Just so happened that he ran into a juggernaut named the Brothers Manley, who scored a whopping 203 points, highest score of the week. When you look at the Brothers Manley team, they had 21, 21, 30, 34, 35, 27. With scores like that, it's going to be hard to beat that team. I don't care who you are. You're going to pretty much have to have a perfect game from your team. And that just didn't happen for Paradise Mike, unfortunately. Like I said, you had the third highest score this week, so you would have done well against everybody else pretty much. Hey, that's the luck of the draw, man. It works out like that sometimes. So Paradise Mike, you dropped to 1-2. Brothers Manley, you get your first win of the season, and you improve to 1-2. All right, fellas. Like I said, it was a pretty good week in football. With some good games, some surprisingly good games by defenses, especially. Some of the quarterbacks really didn't show up. Only one injury like that could determine the lineup, and that was Langford going down, like I said. But hey, it was a good week in football. Let's keep it going. Next week, if you have anybody playing in on Thursday night football, I think it's the Bengals and the Dolphins. I don't think anybody really want to see that game, but if you got any Bengals or Dolphins playing on Thursday night football, go on and set your lineup on Wednesday and make some good decisions. Good luck, everybody. Peace.